Hello, all you beautiful souls. Jules here, and we are doing our astrology forecast for the week of March 10th to the 16th. This is our March Madness month, or I guess you could say week. We have a total lunar blood worm moon eclipse on Friday, and it's going to be an eclipse in Virgo. Such a wild full moon that I will not be charging any of my crystals or making any moon water with. Some people like eclipse energy and they will charge their crystals or make moon water, but I was warned by my crystal teacher that this is not the time to be charging your crystals or making any moon water due to the uneven energy. It's a lot of reversing and going forward, especially with the particular retrogrades. Also, Mercury goes retro on Saturday for 3 weeks until April 7th. So remember, retrogrades are for redos, re-examining things, kind of like a second do-over to make things right. And the Sun and Saturn meet up in the skies on March 12th. It is a day of challenges, or more so a week of challenges, and it is coined the inspection week. Mercury, Venus, and Mars were all retro the first quarter of the year, and it's not always like this, so it has been truly challenging. So you might feel kind of like you're in a time warp, or you're going back and forth like a yo-yo. A lot of dystopia. Neptune moves into Aries on March 31st, and the last time that it was in Aries was in the 1800s during the Civil War era. And it was also when the Emancipation Proclamation. I can't even say that. I'm not even going to try again. I'm sorry. But that's when it was signed. So a lot of old school stuff going on. And we're now currently in kind of like an energetic, technological civil war. But we will talk more about that near the end of the month. I don't want to get too far ahead of things. I also want to notate that it's not a Leo year. So if you're the Leo zodiac sign, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. The opposite sign, Leo's opposite sign of Aquarius, and as we move into the age of Aquarius with Pluto in Aquarius, all things Leo are not on trend right now. And Venus retro in Aries, and I don't know if any of you were able to catch the Venus star, and I call it the star if you watch my previous videos. The Greeks coined it the evening star and the morning star because they did not realize that it was a planet. And right now, because of the spring forward, she is now the evening star. So I got to see her last night. And then Sunday, the 27th, how you represent yourself could have dire consequences. So be aware of your content, branding. Now is not the time to really launch anything. If you fail to read the room, you could get dragged hard. And Venus rules shopping. And let me tell you, I have been on a shopping spree. All my crystal gals, even Gemini, she'll tell you. All my crystal... Hold on. So we have the shopping blackouts going on where you're not purchasing any big corporation purchases. There's going to be another one on the 27th of this month. So a lot of the stores that are affected are Amazon, Whole Foods, some bigger corporations like Walmart. And then we have a Sun-Saturn conjunction in Pisces on Wednesday. And this will not happen for another 3 decades. And we have the dreamy Pisces, which is kind of like the external audit for us, conjunct with the Sun and Saturn. And Saturn is test, limitation, structure, time, and discipline. Where are you doing the most, and where do you really not need to? I just recently watched like the newest episode of 1923. It's so good. It's very intense. But the girl, one of the main characters, the younger one, Liz, she was in line at the train station, or where all the immigrants come so that they can come into New York and cross into the United States. And the guy asked her her last name. And she said, I am Elizabeth Sussex of wherever she was in England. And the inspector was like, I didn't ask you who and where you came from. I asked you your last name. And so she started thinking about it, because her husband is currently wanted and jailed, and he did like bad things, so she can't use her real last name. And so she says Dutton. And that's like some friends, you know, the Duttons from Yellowstone and her family. That's where she's going, on a ranch with one of the sons that she married. So I thought that it's really interesting how we need to think about what we're doing, who we call ourselves, what you want the world to see, but what really you are inside. And so there's just like that kind of esoteric, ethereal feel of what's really going on and who we are. So what we're experiencing, being aware of who you are, be present, and who we are in front of others. Pisces is esoteric, it rules illusions, and this is going to be a shadow week for sure. Where are you turning the blind eye? But also, where are you being too hard on yourself? The Sun-Saturn conjunct is only for 1 day, and it's going to be a little bit of a kind of like a test for us, a sobering day. In Pisces, it's going to show where you have been drifting, and Mercury retro gives you a chance to put your hands back at the wheel and put things together. And so that you can come back to your sensible Virgo full moon. And the eclipse in Virgo rules our digestion. It rules self-care. Virgo rules our wellness and how we process anxiety. And don't forget, next Monday is also St. Patty's Day. And then March 29th is our solar eclipse. Remember, eclipses come in pairs. And during an eclipse, the sun throws in the shadow on the moon, and we see our own shadows illuminated as well. And full moons can represent manifestation, endings, or tradition. So combine that with an eclipse and it's amplified like on steroids. So we are quite in for it, my friends. But much love and light to you all. And thank you for joining me. And thank you so much again for all your weekend orders. And if you did not see my new Metatron's necklace, check her out. It is in the post below, and it does come with this cool crystal or wooden grip. Metatron's cute. All right, you guys, much love and light. Jules. And I will post the link below in my shop if you did want to purchase the Metatron's cube portal. Really cool black opal made with it.